Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. I'm Pastor Manny, and this is Looking Up. It's a ministry here at English Oaks Seventh-day Adventist Church, and Sunday through Friday, Pastor Bob and I are going to be sharing an encouraging message for your day. And I hope you all had a blessed Easter weekend. I hope you were able to get some rest. I hope you were able to eat some good food. Maybe hide some Easter eggs or color Easter eggs with the kiddos. But yeah, I just hope you had an awesome weekend. And so kind of just to for this week, I really love what Pastor Bob shared yesterday about the resurrection being personal. And he shared a story about Mary that went to the tomb, and it was very personal for her. So I just want to continue encouraging all of us to make our time with God personal. And so and it's a daily thing that we must do. And so kind of just to carry on from what Pastor Bob was talking about, you have the resurrection, right? And then you have everything happening after that. And so I imagine the disciples, after Jesus rose from the grave, and he appeared to them, and then he was about to leave them. I can imagine them saying, "What next? All right, what's going to happen next?" And so, and you might be wondering stuff like that too. With everything that's happening right now, like when this kind of passes over. What's next? Like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen with my job? What's going to happen with the culture, the economy? What next? And so I want to share at the end kind of what Jesus tells them what next looks like. All right. So here it is. This is found in Matthew, verse 28, 16 through 20. It says this. Then the 11 disciples went to Galilee, to the mountain where Jesus had told them to go. When they saw him, they worshipped him, but some doubted. Then Jesus came to them and said, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Therefore, go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and of the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you. And surely I am with you always to the very end of the age." And I find it interesting that it says here that when they saw him, they worshiped him, but some doubted. And I don't know about you guys, maybe if that's been your experience, it was the experience of the disciples too. And it's been my experience sometimes, where you have this amazing thing happen, and then you're worshiping, and then in the midst of all that, you can have some doubt sometimes. You're like, man, I know I had that experience. I know what you're going to do, what you want from me, God, but I don't know. I still have that little bit of doubt inside. But then God shares a promise with them, or Jesus shares a promise with them at the end. He said, I am with you always to the very end of the age. And I love what Jesus does here, because I'm sure the disciples are asking the question, like, what next? What's next, God? And he gives them this command, this charge. And he says, "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit." And so, whatever our situation looks like, I think for one, the next for us is to continue with this charge that Jesus gave us, to go to make disciples of all nations, and to baptize them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So my question for us is what does that look like now? We are living in a pretty much digital age church. And for some of us, some of us before this happened might not think that, we don't need the digital age. We don't need social media and things like that. But to stay connected now, we do, And so I want to encourage us to think about what this charge that Jesus gave us looks like now. And moving forward, Lord willing, when we do get back together and meet in a body, what is that going to look like? you know. And so what I think what Jesus wants us, what Jesus wants from us is he wants us to have a paradigm shift. He wants us to think of things a little bit different than we have before, right? And so to me, what he's saying that, hey, I'm giving you this charge, but this is just the beginning, right? The resurrection is just the beginning. What you are going to do after this resurrection, and what I am going to fill you with the Holy Spirit, you are going to do greater and mightier works than even I did when I was here on earth. And that's actually in one of the Gospels, Jesus says. So what I encourage us to do throughout this week is to really reflect on what's the next. What does next look like for me? What does next look like for you? And to encourage you to take that charge to heart. How can we go and make disciples of all nations? And because Jesus is telling us this is just the beginning. All right. God bless everyone. Have a blessed week. We are praying for you. We love you and we miss you. All right. Take care.